You're recording.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Charles Scruggs, and here at the beginning of April, weekend Easter, I'm wishing all you people a happy Easter. I'm here. I'm a power of attorney of Christine Scruggs Gosek, which is my mother, and I have a lot of documents here that shows that she have been betrayed in her husband's estate. What she's been entitled for, it seems like I don't know if you call it a conspiracy, defraud, or whatever, but I have a will before her marriage, which is a will here, and he gave her and wrote her in this will as a friend before marriage. Later, they became husband and wife. I give you the original, it's a copy, but the original marriage license here. There's a problem with this will. My mother was told when she probated this will that she owned her properties of her husband. And this was in 95, November 17th, when it was probated. And we've been trying to get out some proof that my mother was actually married. This will has been probated. This is a will that's been probated. The only paperwork that shows that some heirs which have claimed my mama's husband's estate and stole it, in my opinion. And trying to prove this in court, they refused. As I've tried to get it back in court to show them, my mother was truly entitled because of this marriage license. They've ignored me. They would not let me put this in there. And I mean, with other proofs, I have other proofs. There's a lot of stuff here. I'm not going to try to take you through all that. And I'm hoping Public Eye, TV, whoever can help me to resolve this. My mother was 64 years old on his death in 95.
Daddy, your power of attorney paper, could you get that back?
Uh,
It's in the suitcase. It's in the brown suitcase.
my power of attorney, I don't think it came clear. Just to make sure.
I got you.
One part of this will took this estate from my mother. And to me, that's deception. It's been deceived, and the court's been used to steal my mama's property by the heirs. If you look at this statement, the only thing that in there that says Christine Scruggs, my friend, he gave and advised her all his real estate. But this is why I think it's a concealment by the heirs. I don't know why the clerk masters haven't caught on to it. But when I've tried to file, in which I have a motion I filed myself, to prove that in 2012, this motion of discovery, I was told that I'd get a trial. Well, I got a half trial. I hate to say it, it's like kangaroo court. The lawyer that I hired would not speak on my behalf. I asked the judge to let me dismiss him, and we continued this later till I got proper representation. He laughed at me and told me I couldn't speak unless the judge talked. A guy by the name of Judge Easter. The other person was Randy Lucas. Well, through all this in probate, if you look at this will, at the bottom, there's a name, Stanley Holtman, who wrote this will. I've been told that he died. He's deceased now. But should he be living, and from what I've learned, because I'm not a lawyer and I'm not playing lawyer, I'm being forced to play lawyer for my mother to find out what's been wrong done to her. But I'm talking loud and saying nothing to the public. And every lawyer that I've gotten since 2012 are always saying it's been too long, she was done wrong. And I take this paperwork and tell them that my mother was married. Why wasn't she given a portion of the estate, if not all? And when I say that, I say all, not trying to say or steal myself or make somebody think I'm trying to steal. My mother was actually the only heir to her husband. In fact, my mother had divorced. my dad, which was Robert Scruggs. And that marriage had predeceased in the 70s. My mother had worked for Mr. Donnie Robert Gosey and stayed with him some 20 years in common law. But right before his death, he married her because he said he couldn't protect her from his heirs. And we have proof of that. This is not hearsay. We actually have some audio affidavits from people that actually witnessed this. That I tried to ask the court to let me present it, as well as the marriage license, which haven't been presented in probate. And
what's all this right here in front of you? What's up?
These are documents of proof that the property's been stolen from her by heirs, where they have persuaded the court to believe them. Here's a document that shows I had to go underground kind of and find me some investigators to get a title, because each time I go to the register of deeds, they would never give me what I really need. This paper was not gotten from the register of deeds. People were telling me that my mother was entitled. It's no way. Through all this search for a while. And when it done this, and I realized Emily Brown's already kind of somewhat quit claim and sold this land to Rachel Galloway without my mother's consent and knowing it. Never been came and talked to her about, well, we need to sell something to help. My mama's 87 and need, actually, I'm her caretaker, and a brother stays here with her. I've given up my job. Sometimes my children help me. But to take care of a woman properly, it's not easy when you have to bathe your own mama. And asking grandkids to have to wash her because she don't trust Franklin. They've taken her property. They don't trust nobody.
So these papers right here in the front of this black suitcase, those are some of the written laws of what's pertaining to your case.
Yeah, it says on here, after I tried to tell him I found this, it says the Reformation, and the part that caught my eye, 3515-101, it says that a trial court properly reform trusts and documents at the time that it should have been a deed given to the proper person. And my mother never was given a deed, so she could use a house for collateral to keep it up. And we're not talking about one house, we're talking several houses. And I'm not sure that my mama, some properties that she don't know that she owns, her husband owns, because even by Emily Brown, and I got a paper here that shows Emily Brown in question to me. Before I go there, here's a check my mother's husband wrote for the house she's actually living in, the one that I'm sitting with that you see it to my back. And he had to quit claim his land back from his brother-in-law, which is brother, James Brown. This is actually what the house cost. He sent him with $8,000, so he tried to set the house up in his name as James Brown. But this is the actual check that he come with later, and he found out when he bought the check that his own brother James was trying to steal his property. So he put him out of the house with he and mama, which is here, and made my mama his power of attorney in '93, as well as put her in his will at the time before marriage. So as that went by, what had happened, my big thing is, I find people making excuses to correct the law. They're telling me that, well, it's been too long now, but I've done a little research. People telling myself, my mother, it's been too long. It's like they're trying to make her give up, and she's just about done that. I'm fighting for her. Here's a rule of law that tells me there was a statute of limitation, and I'm just going to use this because I have some more stuff, because I'm finding out if this is conspiracy, which I'm not sure, because I'm looking at three heirs have basically taken this estate from my mom. If they've defrauded the court, have they fooled the court? Have they deprived my mother of a state that she should have got 20 years instead of being a slave to this on a fixed income of $700 and whatever these houses will bring, and have to keep them up? How is it going to happen if you've taken away her resources to keep this property where her husband kept? It's an unfair situation. I've tried to talk to people, and I'm appealing to the world because I found out some people in the county that we work, it might be a conflict of interest because maybe they got something in Williamson County that with a news media, a newspaper or something, and nobody wants to come out. It's like they sweeping it under the rug. Let's keep this swept under the rug. But it don't make anybody a difference because she just one individual. Slavery is against the law. It was abolished by Abraham Lincoln. But it's clear and it's written in law that a husband don't have the right to enslave his wife. I do have where he promised my mother ownership of all this property. Not just in one way, several ways. I would not show that at this time because it could jeopardize people running me and stealing, because if they crooked enough that they stole this long, you know it's some outlaws.
So what is your main focus with the point of this video that you're making? What is the main point that you're trying to?
I'm reaching out to the public whether I get my mother's estate back or not. I would like to get her deeds where she can see somebody in the United States came forth with all the politicians we got, with all this judicial system, that one county that she lived in for 87 years won't hear a married woman writes about her husband's estate, knowing that she's uneducated, to the fact of law. And I have documents show how much she paid several lawyers, but they claim to be real estate lawyers. I'd like somebody that's capable to come back and retrieve my mama's estate, and at that time help me to put things in proper perspective for my mother. First thing first, just to see a smile on her face. I'd love to see the picture. If somebody could hand her her deeds and say, we got it. I think that's the only reason she hang on. If I can, at the end of this video, I'll get my son to make a picture of her, and her physical health is going down fast. I also ask, because people have tried to come and tell her she can sell her life estate, and some of these people from the Civil War District, I've had people to tell me they gonna get it, whether I have anything to do with it or not. They gonna get this land regardless.
So what is the number they can get? How will they be able to get in touch with you, Mr. Scruggs?
Two ways they can get in touch with me. And make sure you ask for me if my mom should answer the phone, because bless her heart, she don't do much talking. Well, she'll do a lot of talking, but she try to understand, being a power attorney, she's still trying to do this herself as much as she can. She's my coach. I'm not her coach. This is her properties. But standing and putting myself in her position, it's hard for me to get her to understand the mistake somebody made at her age. My idea is I would love for some people in this United States come and say, we're going to stand up for Miss Christine Scruggs Gossett. Not Christine Scruggs, the friend, but Christine Scruggs Gossett, wife of Robert Gossett, and give her respect back. And I don't know how they're going to give back 21 years that they stole from her, because even now we have some property in jeopardy. I've quit work, became a full caretaker. I have sons that have mental issues at this time, and it's hard to communicate with all of them. And actually trying to get these houses in condemnation. One of them's already in jeopardy because I had to come here to take care of them. And meanwhile, I left my sons in control of that house to pay the water bill, light bill.
Number.
My number, if you really want to reach me, 3419. As long as I can afford it, that's gonna be my cell number, so you can reach me. The home number, should my mama answer, 615-794-4848. That's my mother, Christine Scruggs Gossett, and as well as for myself, because it's hard for her, all this paperwork, and it's more in evidence, a lot of evidence, because she got a lot of petitions, had a petition in court trying to find out what's been done, and it's just, what surprised me is why we petition when all we had to do is show that she's married. Here's one thing I do want to put out. This is a document. Robert Gossett died in '95. My mother was still getting mail in his name, paying the taxes. This is 2000, I think, and 3. I'm not looking at the front of it, but if it is, you'll see some 4 or 5 years after he passed. But actually, this went on for 17 years. When I filed this case that I tried to file, the motion, that which I showed you, all of a sudden, it becomes in somebody else's name. She'd already paid the taxes for 17 years. Why did she have the right to claim the property when somebody else has been in there? So like I said, the resources that she had has not benefited her, it's benefited someone else. I think I better bring this out, and I do know this, that a lot of people know that right now properties in Weaverton County is high. This is when my Emily Brown became administrator and already claimed this estate, and Christopher Brown, her brother, from that will that you saw. If you look, this was what she said these properties were worth then. She knew more about my mama's property than my mother. And if they were worth that, all she done was sit back, she and her sisters, and waiting on my mama to die so they can seize the opportunity for their own economical gain. That's not right. This county's helped them to tear my mama's life apart. And if there's anybody in Weaverton County got the guts to step up as a lawyer, attorney, I would appreciate it. We have documents where she's been told that she and Chris own it jointly from attorneys. This is not fair, because it left her like in limbo, like a tennis ball. She don't know which way to go. So all this false representation that she's had, if somebody can give me a real lawyer and before a real judge in court to get this properly fixed, I would definitely appreciate it. I don't have much more to say. I got a lot to say, but I'm not going to tie up much. This is all I can give you now. If you're interested in helping in any kind of way, because paying the taxes been hard. I've had to borrow as much as $13,000 myself to bail my mother out several times, $4,000 or $5,000 here to keep the county from taking it from me. Not just by myself, my brothers have done the same thing. Even my sons have time to contribute. So it's not one, it's like we all have suffered to try to make something right for my mama. This ain't just me talking. I speak for my family. That's why my mother made me a power of attorney. And there's been threats and everything made. It's proof of those threats. Has been some lively things here. So it's not me out here trying to do this for myself. It's for her hearing. And that's what we can do from there. I love y'all. Have a happy Easter. God bless y'all as he had me, just to be able to have someone to record this, see it, believe it. This is not my handwriting. This is factual proof that I can't get before the court. Give me a call and tell me if you'll be helpful. You can call me and tell me what you think, just to share it, because sometimes it helps a man to have a friend.
Share, share, share. Share, share, share.
Name of the game is share, share, share.
All right.
You have to do that. And I hope Whoopi hear this. We need somebody, because you think Donald Trump giving the country here, Emily Brown, Rachel Galloway, and Francis Galloway, we got war right here in our own family. And we don't know which way to go. Thank you much. God bless you.
That's it, right?